Quiet on set. Picture is up. All right, roll sound.
Rolling.
Roll cameras.
Cam's rolling.
And 3, 2.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Ready for another dip in Hank's Think Tank? Well, you're here, so you're going to get it whether you want to or not. Got Mark on my left here, and
Howdy, friends and neighbors.
we have got ourselves today a great podcast guest. We have Blake Beckwith from the band Peel. They also have a single out. I'm going to let him do a little bit of talking to explain a little bit about his band and about the music that they play. Blake also is a really accomplished guitar and instrument teacher, and he's done a lot here in the community. And I'm really glad to have him on. Blake, how's it going, man?
Wow, thanks for the great introduction, man.
There you go.
Welcome.
Only the best at Hank's Think Tank.
Yeah, I don't know about the best, but I appreciate that.
Well, I can't say you're a
tried
flop,
hard in
because
the,
if I said you were a flop, it would make us look bad, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
No, I'm just. It's so cool to be here. It's like. It's wild just even having the headset on and hearing all the professional gear and everything flying in, because I'm just used to teaching mostly little guys. You know,
so where do you teach?
How to do that? I do it out of my upstairs studio office type thing, and I also travel to see people. Currently, I'm not teaching. I'm on hiatus. We just had a baby who's about a year old now. Her name is Cammie, and
Cool.
yeah, and
A year already?
I know,
Man,
it just
goes quick.
flew. Like, that's another wild thing, is being here while just after all this COVID stuff. Like, I don't leave the house.
Right.
Hey, let's go do some recording.
Welcome to the world, man.
Right.
That's it.
But yeah. So I studied classical guitar at Southwestern University.
Okay.
It's they have a
San Marcos, right?
yeah, right over by there.
I used to have a
It's,
girlfriend for a couple of minutes at San Marcos.
Awesome.
Yeah, she
It's-
went over there, and then I
It's-
visited her like twice, and she ran out of time for me, but that's okay.
That sounds
couple
about
of
like
minutes.
there. It's not Texas State. It's not like San Marcos right there. It's a little bit further north in Georgetown. So it's like a little smaller school. Just in case you're thinking about that particular school.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little like a private school up there. But they have a really nice fine arts department called the Seraphim School of Fine Arts, and I had to learn how to play piano and all sorts of things.
So you're a multi-instrumentalist. That's cool.
A bit, yeah.
So, and I guess you got a degree in music, right?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I have my bachelor's.
That's cool.
In that circle, they look at, just a bachelor's. but I had to do a fair bit of learning. I learned a lot about all the music theory and just some of the ways that we think about music in the Western world. The way that it comes together. It really gave me an advantage in being a success at teaching. When I started, I just started teaching. I was actually just working odd jobs and just did it as a whatever. People heard I played guitar and somebody wanted to come take a lesson, and it just went really, really well. So
That's cool.
So I thought, okay, maybe I'll try this. And I got a few students up in Denton. I was following my girl around. She's a psychologist now, but that's probably a few years ago where that happened, where she was actually turned into a psychologist. So I was just following her around doing whatever to make it by while she studied, while she worked, interned, all that kind of stuff. But it was just a hobby, and then I came to Houston, and it just blew up. I got a few. There's just so many more people here, and I got a few just wonderfully nice, awesome parents and clients that really helped me out and spread the word. I put all this time into advertising through websites, and I have a really professional looking website. It's called guitarlessonstexas.com or guitarlessonstx.com, and it has some more information about my background and all that. But nobody uses it. It's cool. Like, it was the first time I've ever just had my name circulating around, and like getting calls like, "Hey, I heard you're really great at this," and being able to go do it. It was humbling. And I also love doing it. I still do. I'm sad that I'm on break from it.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question from one guitarist to another, because me and Mark both play. And I've heard over the years, you know, because I do a lot of stuff on the internet, and I've seen all the guitar instructors on the internet, and I bet you I've seen all of them, and learned a little bit here and there. They say that there comes a point in your playing when all of the theory and all of the things that you learn and try to accomplish for yourself just kind of at once comes together. Do you think that happened sometime when you were in college and you were taking music? I mean, was there one day that all of a sudden you just woke up and you went, "Fuck, I got it"?
I feel like I have them all the time. There's yes, absolutely. It's not. There are multiple times that it happens.
Really?
Especially being entrepreneurial with it, you know, not relying on anyone else for the money, but having to constantly maintain that. And you know, one day it feels like you don't know what you're doing at all, and that it's all going to fall apart, and then the next day you get rave reviews for something and you feel better about it. So it's I've learned a lot from teaching.
I bet.
Even kids, even like beginners, people who have never picked up a guitar before, I'll learn things from. Like they'll just put their fingers on it and do something in a way that I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, let's do that. And then I absorb that. You know, I want to try to be a sponge too. So I wouldn't say there's ever been a moment where I feel like I'm complete. You know, like all of a sudden I've achieved this moment of wonder where, oh, this is how I do guitar now, and I'm not going to get any better. You know, like the peak. I feel like my brain is still stretching.
I understand. But I was talking more about stuff like, you know, when you're talking about doing caged with like the pentatonic scale.
Oh, sure.
How they're together, but I've never been able to mentally put both of them together.
Yeah.
And I've never had that aha moment.
Oh, I got you.
So I was wondering do you wake up one day and just all of a sudden it all blends? You're like, oh, okay, well I see how it all comes together now.
I see what you're saying. For me, it's usually like a couple weeks after taking a break from the instrument or taking a break.
Coming back fresh a little bit.
Exactly. It's
you can get hemmed in by the orthodox thinking, and it kind of builds walls around some of the things you're trying to do, and then one day you're just flipping around with the TV and going, oh, hey, wow, that sounded pretty cool.
Let's
explore that for just a second. You're not supposed to do that, but it works here, you know.
Yeah. No, it does. It's like you internalize it, and it's I mean, I think you even dream about it, you know. When you wake up in the morning, you're better at, if you played something sloppy the day before and you were trying to get the structure of it down, the structure is more there the next morning. So to me, it's absolutely true that you do kind of have those like periods of stale, you know, periods, and music's such an emotional thing. Like if you practice something and it's complicated and you try to hammer it out and play it 100 times, personally, I'm not feeling the music anymore. I'm just simply teaching my muscles how to do it.
Yeah, it's become mechanical.
Right. It's so ingrained in my head that I don't even have to play it. It's just I'm thinking about it and it's there.
You get so far away from music being an emotion that you're trying to capture and get bogged down in the mechanics of it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Yeah, absolutely.
And
so how did the band come together?
So the band's
name is?
Peel. We have a single, True Bird Personality. It's on everything. If you search for Peel, you're probably gonna not find it. If you search for True Bird Personality, bam. I haven't seen any other songs named that.
Okay.
My friend Daniel, he's our drummer.
Okay.
And we, pre-baby, used to have a lot of house parties, and we were all just hanging out. It was 2 a.m. or something, you know, we were just having a good time, and I had my guitar set up there, and I had this electronic drum set that we could just plug into like a bass amp. And he had been talking about jamming a little. He'd actually just learned that I play. He didn't even, know. And I was just learning that he'd been in all sorts of heavy metal bands, and, just has been around. He just knows a lot. He's a badass.
Yeah.
And anyways, we played some Chili Peppers song. I can't remember which one. And he was like, whoa, man, we just jammed that the whole way through, and it sounded freaking great. We should start a band.
There you go.
And I was
Birth of Peel.
Goofy and drunk, and I was just singing, just belting out stuff. And he was like, you can play and sing. And I thought, I can play and sing. Oh, you know, like I didn't know.
News to you. Huh?
Exactly. You know, that was really the birth of me, like starting to practice that. To be honest.
Yeah, I've noticed that I can play and then sing,
right?
But I can't play and sing.
It depends on what you're playing, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Three Blind Mice I can play and sing. But I don't. Yeah, every time I try, as soon as I start singing, the playing stops.
Yeah.
And then I have to get back to playing, and then the singing stops. Like there's a disconnection somewhere.
I have to practice it personally. Like some things, kind of like Mark was saying, if it's just straight chords and I've played them 100 times already, and I just can hear that chord.
Yeah, it's just muscles after
it's
that.
just there, and then it's like automatic. And,
yeah.
And then the vocals come out, but since then, you know, this all started pre-COVID.
Yeah.
That we actually started writing music. So this band has been a long time in the making, and we need to like now we're finally rolling again. Like really recently, actually, within the past couple months, we got a new guitar player and keyboard player. He does a little bit of everything. We always joke, you know, he's like, he plays on the bongos, you know, he's a great musician, like wonderful, and he also has a lot of mixing experience. He just brought so much to the table that like we've kind of been reinvigorated to be like, oh hey, let's make these songs work.
That's cool.
We can actually be a presence on this local scene, if nothing else. You know, it's really some powerful stuff. I'm excited to play it live, you know, to get out and like and actually jam it for some people, because you know, if the few people who've come out, you know, there aren't very many people who've heard it live. Like my mom, my wife, you know, people that are outside the garage when we're practicing.
Right.
But you know, when you hear it, it's just, we showed a lot of tracks to people. It's just, there's this energy that I feed off of it from Daniel, from Adam, who's our bass player, and from Troy too, who's the, let's call him a multi-instrumentalist. I don't know what, you know, his role isn't exactly designated, you know, he's just
whatever y'all need him for.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, he can do it. That's the best part.
Oh, it's wonderful. Like I can't just.
So I guess
he came out all nervous, thinking we're gonna kick him out. I'm like, no, dude, please stay. We need you.
But you're writing, correct? You're the one writing most of the lyrics and most of the melodies.
I'd say I've done the most writing. You know, the majority of this album will be, but Daniel has also been a huge part of that writing process.
Okay.
Like some of the, you know, we'll look at lyrics afterwards and kind of figure out things and add things to make things more catchy. He's really brought like an organization factor to the to all of the songs, and also has written one entirely by himself. So he's also a multi-instrumentalist.
Okay, that's
you know,
cool.
He can play guitar and drums, and I would imagine if you handed him a bass, he would probably be okay on it too. But he wrote one of our songs called "Secret Yo-Yo Compartment." That is one of my favorite. Like it's actually.
I love that title. Man.
Yeah, dude. The name is awesome. It just, I don't know, makes you want to go have sex or something. It's cool. But I'm super excited to get the ball rolling. We, you know, get merchandise. We're trying to make the dream happen.
It takes a while. There's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say I probably have one of the biggest driving roles in the band, where I'm the one who's pushing everybody to, you know, like, okay.
Yeah, there's usually one individual who will do that.
Right.
You know, it seems to be at least.
But, you know, I'm the guy with the really loud microphone. So that happens to be my role. Yeah. So
Peel's a good name. How'd you come up with the name?
Thanks. Well, we were kind of exploring with
Led Zeppelin was taken, obviously.
Yeah. There were so many band names, and a lot of them were hilarious, and I can't mention them on this. So that, you know, it's too public to mention. But, we wanted a name that is simple, but also has depth and can have cool feelings attached to it, and artwork, and we were really exploring the idea of citrus. Just citrus fruits and things like that, and so we settled on Peel, and it just fit, you know. It was just kind of one of those like, oh yeah, we all like that one. That one sounds really good. Let's roll with it.
Indicates maybe a layered thing that you can discover more as you go into it.
And
that's what I'm gonna say.
And there's so many. Yeah, there's that. There's that one for sure. And there's so many different things that could be peeled. Like, I personally really wanted to name it Peel the Gourd because we have a gourd shaken in one of our songs.
Yeah.
But I think just peel is just so much easier to remember. The more I say it, peel. Like an orange peel. It's just so easy.
Yeah. And the artwork, if done right, is going to be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, we have some ideas and some things developed, and I actually thought about bringing them to show and display. It's just they're not quite done. So
yeah,
I want people to see the done.
There you go. Yeah, the done is always better than the almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know everybody that's watching is dying to hear you play something. So
okay, well,
whatever you feel like jamming on is good with us, and
sure.
We're gonna try to remain calm. I know Mark freaks out a lot when he hears good music, but we'll rub some cheese on his chin or something. We'll get him calmed down.
No, Larry Cheese.
You remember that?
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot of people don't remember that.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
That's it.
You can make some sound effects during the song. I don't care.
So he's got the rest of his band right there.
Exactly. Sadly, they couldn't be here, and all of our music is written for full band.
Right.
So my parts are not too much strummy like that. So I've got this looper, this RC505 that I practice on.
It's a Moog synthesizer.
Yeah, that sounds regal. Ooh, I like it. No, it's one of the best out there especially for the money. It's not too expensive. But anyways, it's gonna play a little drum beat for me.
Cool.
And it's gonna let me do some layering onto it. So hopefully the songs are at least kind of get some of the interest. Just anyone who's watching, keep in mind, take a listen to our song. The full band feel is very different. There's a lot of it's not heavy metal, but I emphasize that our drummer used to be in a heavy metal band, and he doesn't play heavy metal, but there's an energy to it.
There's a layer.
There's a layer.
You
exactly.
Just gotta peel it back.
Exactly.
What song you gonna open up with here, man?
So this one's called the Search, and I hope it sounds cool.
It'll be good.
Go for it.
Ooh, I gotta turn on sound first. Might have to redo that one.
No, you're good.
All right. So let's give that one more try. My brain was acting crazy. I put on my shoes, still thinking about everything. Why can't we go into a place that takes it all away? Yeah, I think we can, but I don't understand how it works. Than before. Oh, there's something more. Oh, we can't freeze, no, we won't know. Can't do nothing, it'll break ourselves around that happy old tree again. Thoughts go away and we all feel a little hazy. Morning is here, just waiting for that light to appear. There's no more time, we just have to make the easy mistakes. I know we can, I'm just worried about how long it's gonna take. Oh, I didn't sleep a wink, and I feel more energized than before, yeah. Oh, something more. Yeah, we can't freeze, no, we won't know. I can't do nothing, it'll break myself around that happy tree again. There's something more, or a state of mind, a perfect search. Or maybe nothing is what drives us there, around that happy tree again. Oh.
Awesome, man. There you go.
Yeah,
I like that.
Sound okay?
Yeah, you know, it kind of gave me a little bit of the Chili Peppers flair there. I could hear a little bit of that in there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's a good way to describe that style.
Yeah. And you know, it's an interesting composition.
I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
I love the Chili Peppers and I'm very influenced by them.
Especially the meandering high parts of the guitar.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do something really interesting with the guitar part. In full band, you know, I'll have a rhythm section to play, and we'll probably just be doing things like that through the whole series of it.
It's a good composition too, because it's kind of complicated. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's
you know,
it uses the open strings and you know, I guess it kind of fits in with what we were talking about with me having that classical background, but,
right?
The finger style going between these open strings and using, you know, that's one of the most of the songs don't actually use a capo. It's this is one of the two that uses a capo because I want to use those open strings throughout as I go. You know, like for. You know, you can do some really cool stuff.
Lots of hammering and pulling off. Yeah.
Yes, and you don't. It sounds really complicated, but if you use those open strings, it's really not as hard as it sounds.
That's a fret you don't have to hit. Right?
Yeah, exactly. A little more right hand dependent.
So what comes first, the melody or the lyrics?
To me, it's the harmonies. Actually,
really,
I pretty much always start with some set of chords. That's I try to listen out on a whole lot of different ones. Like this, for example, I don't think I was using a capo at first, but I just liked the way that felt.
Yeah.
That song, the guitar part, I took a little longer to write, the weeby stuff, but But the lyrics and the harmonies, it was probably done in an hour. It was one of the fastest songs I've written so far.
Sometimes it just comes to you.
Exactly.
That's inspiration, brother.
Just the creative. The lyrics are a little bit more simple than some of our other songs, but also I thought there was depth, so I didn't feel too embarrassed about it. I thought
cool song.
It's a cool, a search about. For me, it's a search towards finding. Just a sense of being, what's the word? Not content, and
fulfillment.
And so how do you reach that fulfillment? It's basically just a reflection on that for me, and it can be interpreted a lot of different ways, and none of those ways are wrong. So, but yeah, it's one of my favorite songs, and I was really hoping to get to play it for somebody because we haven't been able to. We haven't had another guitar player till recently. So.
Right. All right. Good job, man.
So
I appreciate that.
What's the next step? Are y'all going to start doing live gigs or?
Absolutely.
Have you got anything already slated?
Nothing's slated. We're scouting the new addition I'm talking about. He really joined us like last month, but he's flying through things. He's already pretty much got the whole set list down. We just want to really tighten everything up and make sure that we have all the tones that we want. But we're making it happen really soon. We're talking to venues, looking at places. We're hoping that we've talked a lot about going down to the 19th hole down in Spring, seeing if they'll have us. So we'll see. But that's our mission right now. Is we've got a couple really great songs recorded. We're taking a break on that, and we just want to play live, get out there and jam them, and then work towards putting out that album. That who knows? Some people may really like it.
Is that going to be like an EP short album or?
Well, we have a single out now. I have a feeling we might just jump to the whole album. It's kind of a weird process because we started so long ago. I've been writing now for a while, and
you got the material to fill up an album.
Exactly. More than we've kind of had to pick and choose what we're gonna do. So I'm really thinking when people hear the songs, they're gonna want to hear more.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping just to get that album going. We'll get some.
Cool.
Get something out there, especially since it's so accessible now.
Right.
It's not like the old days where you had to hand out your EP at the.
Yeah, there's no barrier to entry anymore.
Absolutely. Yeah. People with a Spotify account could just go on and listen to whatever one they want.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nowadays, you can perform basically live on YouTube. So if you have a place where you can set up and shoot it right,
there's a million of them out there doing just that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
So, what about your recording? Where have y'all been recording your tunes at?
We've actually been recording them in my garage.
So self-recording, huh? That's something that even the big guys do that nowadays.
I think it's really important, in my opinion, if you want to be successful at it. I've had a lot of success in life and the things that I do. I'm very fortunate, and I think that if there's something in my gut that tells me that we need to be in charge of our first album at the very least, and really control all those factors that go into putting out the sound. And the only way to even be able to communicate that to another person who mixes is to understand it and learn it yourself. So we've got our own 24 channel mixing board. So we can line it out independently. We can do our own mixes and then get those feels that we're after. I'm nowhere near a professional mixer. My knowledge is just. I just started learning about that stuff with the band.
So you're just laying down the tracks and you got somebody else mixing for you, huh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. But
and doing it in your own way is a good thing too. Not a lot of people know it, but that's what Prince did. Oh. And when Prince first turned in his demo, and I forgot what record company it was, he said, "Hey man, that's awesome. Call the dude up and get his band down there." And the guy started laughing. He goes, "What band?" He said he did all this stuff. He made it at home.
Put it all together.
Like, what? Because I think he was one of the first guys that ever really, on a professional level, started doing that. And now it's real common. You have even like Taylor Swift and all those. They all have their own little recording studios, just a room in their house. Yeah. And they sound it out and make it acoustically viable and go for it and do everything.
Technology has made it not only less intrusive and huge, but just about anybody can do it on certain scale.
Yeah, you get a program like Pro Tools or something, and you're there. Before you know it, you've cut your own single and it's out, ready to go.
There's actually a robot arm that you can control from the internet now to do mastering with. It doesn't
really.
I really doubt you could do all the intricacies that a professional master could do. I don't know. I've never tried it, but I know that they have all the equipment set up in a room, and you literally Wi-Fi control an arm that twists analog knobs.
That's crazy.
to like master your song up.
I was thinking about something the other day. Imagine, Mark, the perfect woman. And perfect in every way.
We'll be right back after
Hold
these
on.
important messages.
Hold on. I'm talking about perfect in every way. So this chick can cook, she can work, she can drive, she can do whatever you want. She will look how you want her to look like. She'll be the size, shape, everything, even all the way down to her likes and dislikes.
She got a mother?
No. And here's the best part. If she even remotely gets out of line, you can turn her off with an app on your phone.
Huh.
Do you realize how far away from this we are? It sounds like it's a long way off. They're saying less than 10 years. Less than 10 years. And now this chick has a body temperature. She breathes. She learns.
She takes up space.
Takes up space.
She does everything a woman does.
Does everything a woman does. But only the things that you want her to do. You know what I mean? She never says anything wrong because she only says what you want her to say.
Can I go
Yeah.
fishing? Of course. Take your time.
That's
Take
it.
my truck. Would she have her own truck?
I guess.
I'd have to give it to her.
They say that
Still be my
they say that they'll be intelligent enough to be able to drive and everything else. Of course, by then we'll have autonomous vehicles, and she'll probably drive one of those. But can you imagine that? And you can even name her.
It sounds boring.
It does sound
You
a
get
little
zero
boring.
flack from this woman, right?
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could program her to
You know, where's
have,
the challenge, right?
have a bitchy
Yeah.
day. You know, you could
It'd be
program
a challenge just to try to piss her off,
You
right?
could program her to have a bitchy day, and then make that day random to where you don't know
Her
when
name
it's
could
coming.
be like Alexa, right?
You know, you can name her whatever you want.
Make me a sandwich while I hang out with my girlfriend. How you like that? I don't know, man. That's so far removed from reality, though.
But it's not. We're right around the corner from it. I mean, they're literally working on it, and they're working hard on it too.
People are
That's
dating.
crazy.
People are dating pillows these days, like these
Yeah.
these girl-shaped pillows. And
How pathetic do you have to be?
seriously, imagine a robot that actually moved.
You don't even have to
Yeah.
talk her into bed because she's already laying in there for you.
What kind of world do you have to live in to where you're willing to settle for a fucking pillow?
How much?
Well-
How degrading do you have to be?
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting the world we're stepping into.
Virtual,
You know, and- yeah, and I-
virtual world.
And I know we've gotten away from the musical conversation a little
No,
bit.
you're
We'll get
okay.
back to it. But
You started all that.
But I just
Tank
think it's,
stick tank.
I think it's just, it's weird how you and I, you know, when we were in high school, dude, there was no such thing as the internet or cell phones or none of that. How did we even know anything? You know what I mean? Because the information wasn't as readily available as it is now. But we still seem to be pretty intelligent.
we
back
did
then.
just fine.
So yeah,
We dealt with it
but we've seen this whole thing come about.
little by little.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just
I remember when I was working, it was about 1981. I was about 20 years old, and I was working for Old Bear Superior Waterbeds, and some of the gray-haired people know who
I
that
remember
is.
that dude.
Yeah.
Is he dead now?
I was a truck driver. Yeah, I think he did pass away.
Damn, that's too bad.
But these people came up. We were closing shop and closing the warehouse up. These guys came up in a station wagon. They said, "Hey, we got something we want to show you that's available for sale." I thought, "Oh, lay it on us. What is it?" It's a computer, and you can get away from all those paper files and put everything on your computer digitally. We laughed them and ran them the hell off. Get the hell out of here! Like these are going to go away. These filing cabinets are
Right.
going to go away.
yeah, get out of here
Dream
with your
on,
computer.
punk. You get your little hipster ass out of here. So
Yeah,
that was
no.
1981.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And
I remember.
in 82, we got beepers, and we felt like real big shots then.
Oh, beepers are
to make sure
badass.
everybody
I
could
don't
see.
think I was
Right on.
alive.
Beeper
Then.
here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't alive.
If you had a beeper, you were the shit.
I remember beepers though. My mom had a beeper. It beeped a lot.
That's before you were born, isn't it?
Yeah.
19. I was born 1987. So
87.
yeah, the computers were a thing when I was
Yeah,
around.
they were already around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Video
you've
games.
grown up. You've grown up technologically advanced. So some of this stuff may not seem like a miracle to you, but
Some of it.
when I
is.
think about it, I'm like, damn, that's a freaking miracle, man.
I mean,
You know?
for me, I remember the black screen with DOS, where
Oh, yeah.
you just typed in the command prompt, and then Windows 95.
Yeah.
You know, that was like the big thing. You could play Ski Free, and all the all the Solitaire and all the games on there. But
Oh, yeah.
that was me. I was like just barely past the Zork generation. Sound like
Yeah.
a dork saying that, but
And now look
Um,
what you've got in front of you with the, you know, you're able to almost have a whole band in a little box.
right. If I had brought
You
a
know?
bass, I could have
Yeah,
plugged
and
it in.
you
and
could
just,
program in whatever the hell you want, you know?
it's wild. I mean,
It really is.
it blows my mind, absolutely. And especially what you're saying about the robot girlfriend idea.
Yeah.
And like an intriguing thought to me is just the idea of artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Being so sophisticated that something can take on a consciousness of its own that isn't human or animal or organic in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
they're
weird.
getting so close. I hear
And look real, feel real, smell real, the whole deal.
right.
You know, I mean, that's
Right.
going to be
matrix going on.
I mean, I'm wondering if there'll ever come a point to where you'll be able to look at someone and wonder, human, non-human, and will you have to identify yourself?
The android question.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, movies predict it. There's so many movies come true. Visionaries on the screen, I feel like, are often visionaries of the future, and to me, it seems totally within the realm of possibility. Right. It's just
it's crazy,
scary.
So let's talk a little bit about the music business itself.
I'm new to it. years ago, you could make music just selling your music, through albums and CDs and things like that. A lot of music now is just like freely available. I think artists have a hard time making it, and you almost have to perform live in order to have an income from it. So I mean, Sure.
have you considered any of this, and what are your feelings on playing your music and putting it out there and just making it readily downloadable for just any Joe that wants to hear it? You think it's right? You think it's wrong? Because I know there's still a lot of musicians who are pissed off about it.
Oh, sure.
Those that were hot during the development when all this happened.
Right.
Right.
I see. I think that you can make money at it online if you're able to explode, if you're able to really gain a lot of followers. But personally, I don't have a lot of experience with it yet. This is a new foray for me. But personally, I see any financial gains that coming from it probably being just as a reliable band that can play live gigs. You still get paid. Like, people still like to go out to eat. People still like to go out to venues and bars. I know everyone was scared after the COVID crisis, but things are getting back to normal-ish.
Yeah.
And
with a name like Peel, you've probably got merchandising as well. If
Absolutely.
y'all spend time on
CDs,
that, T-shirts, hats.
shirts.
I mean, you could go a long way with merchandising.
And we happen to know some people that are very good in the design world. So
cool.
So we're gonna definitely be doing that. I mean, we are doing that. It's just it's in work in progress at the moment. That'd be a good way to put it, I guess.
Cool. All right, so I think. Is it entitled Cigarette, the song that was your first, I guess, that y'all had mixed and mastered first and came out? I heard that song, Jackie played it for me. And when she got done, and I'm just being honest about this, when she got done, I said, who is that? And when she said it was you, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I said, that was awesome. I mean, it was great.
Wow, that's great to hear.
It was literally radio worthy. And
Wow,
I mean, I was like,
you.
damn, this dude's doing great.
Thanks.
And I don't know if you can play that for us, but
Yeah.
if you could, man, that'd be an awesome song to hear.
I'll give it my best shot.
The lyrics are good. I mean, the composition's done really well. And
Thank you.
if you hear what's online and you think, hey, this is on the radio, I mean, easily I could hear that on the radio. Often. Not just every once in a while. So I think it's a good...
That's a fantastic compliment,
put together well.
I really appreciate that.
So, yeah.
As it's, in the music world, it's...
See if you can
hard to come by
jam that
those.
one out for us.
Let's see. There's lots of there's definitely more going on in this one.
Oh, I bet.
But all right, let's give it a different beat than the congas.
Okay.
Just because it's our heaviest song in terms of just energy and vibe.
Yeah, very energetic. I was like, damn, I could not believe it was you. And then when she said, yeah, he's got a band, and I was like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some energy rolling in here. I just gotta find. This is my practice tool.
There you go.
Yeah, this beat's pretty good usually. Maybe we'll turn it up a hair. Get a little bit of that bass in there. All right, so this is gonna sound a lot different than what you heard on the radio.
Okay.
Well, I say on the radio. That's my dream.
There
it's
you
on
go.
The radio. Yeah, you
Never
were so good. You made me think it was on the radio.
Never know.
Let's see. Get the loop going. hard and make the time that's right. Walking tight straight lines, make a grapefruit grow. True personalities will cry. It's all just a big show. Cigarettes, oh, take your cigarettes way up high. These pros and crows just have to make your time that's right. Walking tight straight lines, make a grapefruit grow. True personalities will cry. It's all just a big show. Savor it. Oh, will you savor it until the end? These roads that grow most definitely will show you how to sin. Walking down a straight road, don't know where it goes. True personalities will cry. It's all just a big show. Oh, cigarettes, oh, take your cigarettes way up high. These crows and crows most definitely will show you how to die. Cigarette. Turn off looper. Turn off drums.
Oh, wow, man.
This-
Slick,
yeah.
jazzy. I
Yeah.
can drive
Dig
anywhere
that?
through traffic
Yeah.
in that.
I thought about starting off with that bad boy, but it's hard. There's so many buttons.
Yeah. You need one more hand or something.
I need my band. Please bring me the band.
I like the little lead fills on 10 and 12 during that chorus, man. It just
Thanks,
noodled
man.
right in there perfectly.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was the first song I had
heard.
heard of his.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was amazing. I'm like, man, that's really jamming out.
I appreciate that
Yeah.
a lot. It's funny because it's the lyrics. It's not a song about cigarettes really. It's just about kind of. It's a rebellious song, you know.
Right.
I guess I won't go into too much talk. It's not too interesting to hear, you know. But like the word cigarette is so prominent, we almost titled it just cigarette on there, because
yeah.
people are gonna, if they're gonna call it that anyway. So
The cigarette song.
the cigarette song, exactly.
Yeah.
So but the actual name of the song is True Bird Personality is what we're going for. Maybe just True Bird or
Cool.
The name on that one is still up in the air.
Yeah.
But
I like it. It's great.
thanks, I appreciate
So
that.
let's talk about your musical influences a little bit. So you got a favorite guitarist besides Blake Beckwith?
You know, I thought it was funny. I don't know about that, but I thought it was funny you mentioned Prince earlier.
Yeah.
He's been one of my favorite guitarists since high school.
Yeah.
I remember watching him do a live show just on YouTube when YouTube was new, and just being like, wow.
Yeah.
He did this version of Darling Nikki that I thought was really, really cool.
I really missed the boat on that guy until I saw the concert for George Harrison. And I bet you've seen that where he just shreds While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Oh my God.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was written off as a guitar player, and it kind of pisses me off because he was truly, truly talented, man. Badass. I mean, just a badass.
That guy, if he
and he
made up
looks
his mind,
like he's not even trying. That's what I get. It's just like, damn, how? You know?
if he'd have set his mind to say, I'm going to be the next guitar shredder hero, he'd be right up there in the top
Oh, yeah.
10, if not 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7. Okay.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
I love him.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Jimmy Page,
Yeah.
to lead off that, like, he's probably the second guy that I really, really followed and learned about. It's funny you meant, George Harrison being so good. You mentioned that. I would imagine all those, their influences and impacting each other and everything.
Yeah.
But,
and those influences had past influences too, It's,
right.
It's all a little borrowing and tweaking over the generations.
So much like Beach Boys, everybody's getting in there and all sorts of things. But the classics, Jimi Hendrix and everything. That was when I was younger. When I got into school, I was you had to either be a jazz guitarist or a classical guitarist. I was a psychology major at the time, so I was just taking guitar lessons for fun.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you gotta go get a classical guitar. So, some of the really great, my favorite classical guitarist player ever is Anna Vidavik, I think is how you say it. She just plays with so much feeling and energy and plays classic songs like Recuerdos de la Hambre, like with like a different style. Most people do this motion between 4 fingers, and she just does it insane with great speed and accuracy and technique, but just with 3 going back and forth. And I had never seen anyone do that, and just the emotion she puts into it. But her and the classics like Andres Segovia.
Yeah.
The people that play with their emotions are always my favorite. Mm-hmm. People that are able to get those emotions really out there clean, and it's not too mechanical.
Right.
Like John Williams is another great classical guitar player, but I've never been super fond. Like I like his music; it's wonderful, but it's just
mechanical.
He's a bit more mechanical with it. Yeah, he's a legend. Like I would gladly take lessons from him. He's great, but I tend to lean towards the emotional guitarist, the ones that also sing too. So like Jimi Hendrix and Prince and people with a little bit of that funkiness and a little bit of soul.
I'm a big Stevie Ray guy myself.
Yeah,
Stevie talk about
Ray's
feeling
awesome.
in every note, man. He can just hit a flat note, and you're going, don't make me cry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love it. And just bend it where you want it.
Shake it a little bit, just enough, not too much.
Right. I'm out of tune, so I'll shake everyone.
So I think it's interesting that you still have the influences of guys that were out 60s and 70s way before you were born.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
So and it makes me wonder whether there's going to be another group like that that's going to come out at some point in the future, just to keep guitar in the mainstream.
Yeah.
Because it seems like now everything is just drum box and there's not a lot of people that are playing instruments anymore. It's all electronic, and it's odd. And you can hear that stuff on the radio. I can pick it out. I can say, it's a band. No,
that's
it's
a loop.
not. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with you. I don't want to take things to a negative swing or anything on the show, but I don't like that it's heading in that direction.
It's kind of weird, because I thought that there'd be people playing instruments forever. I never thought that music would take that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it
quite
has.
so hard.
Cyborg music, it's weird.
It's like the virtual woman, that would be boring. I don't care how agreeable she is.
What if she's a great guitarist?
Well, damn.
There you go.
You got me again, man.
A virtual woman who's a great guitarist and can make a mean
lasagna.
That sounds really good.
Next song is by request. Write something about lasagna.
The Garfield song.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a kid now. I make stupid jokes.
So, one of my favorites, and I know you know how to play it. It's been a while, and I don't want to put you on the spot or anything. It's going to call for your classical gas.
Oh.
And you showed me the beginning of classical gas.
That's right.
It's been a long time since I've played it, but man, it was a lot easier to play than I thought it would be.
Right.
But it's a great, great song. You think you could maybe pick it out?
I could certainly demonstrate it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could perform it exactly as
give it a whirl.
But let's.
Yeah.
I pulled up the tab on classical gas because I love that song too.
Yeah.
And I got about halfway through it, man. I could not get that song down.
Yeah. Hey, I've got some background noise on that guitar. You might want to maybe stand it up. There you go.
We good now?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I've been really wanting. I love showing off this guitar too. This is my baby.
Yeah.
Oh, the old cat gut special.
Absolutely. The nylon string classical, overly priced, but in the classical world, that's just how things are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, look how wide that fretboard is.
Exactly. Wider fretboard.
Yeah, all the classical guitars are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just...
Yeah, but that's just like insane.
I wish I'd restrung it. The strings are a little old. It doesn't sound quite as beautiful as it could, but it's a very
nice.
full,
Yeah,
wonderful. This is a really nice guitar.
Got some depth, yeah.
Made by Guillermo Salazar.
I
Man,
remember Guillermo.
You know Guillermo, yes?
Yeah, he painted my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he Costa Rica, I guess, but he makes some really nice guitar.
That reminds me too. I need to make a phone call later on because they keep coming out with these commercials. Did you work with Asbestos in the '80s? And I'm pretty sure I worked with that dude.
Yeah.
I think it was Asbestos
And his brother
Gonzalez.
Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Frank Gonzalez. I don't know what they did, but they must have pissed a lot of people off. But I could get big compensation for working with that dude.
Yeah, you sure can.
Yeah, so
especially if you ever did any demolition with him.
I'm gonna call him up, find out what's going on, man.
He
I
did
ain't seen his-
floors, walls, ceilings. He was
did
in
it all.
everything.
Asbestos Gonzalez. Yeah.
I love that name. It's genius. What a genius name.
Asbestos El Marcos Gonzalez.
De Santana.
So are y'all hearing this okay?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure
Filling up my headphones.
Yeah, no, I mean, in school, when I play classical, you usually don't mic it up. You just are in an
That's
auditorium,
right,
and
yeah.
they're built to be loud. But yeah, wider neck, nylon
Awesome.
strings. Real classical players would be cringing at me for playing on this guitar. I don't have my nails.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been worth keeping them up. But I think I could still... I'm about to play like Californication or something. I think it just... Does that sound right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been so long since I played it. I gotta at least get you to that cool part though. It's like
Use it or lose it.
it's so
Yeah.
true. It's funny how they come back to you though.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
the ones you played a bunch. Ah, now I
There you
lost
go.
it. But there, we got to that
That's
part
awesome.
with it for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Not
Kudos,
bad for
that
not
was
having
all
played it.
That is a good sounding guitar, too.
Yeah, that is a great sounding guitar.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah,
Yep.
the salesman knew he had me, man. He didn't go down on
Are
price
y'all
or
gonna
anything.
have any acoustics on your album?
We're not sure. We're throwing it out. Probably not this album.
Yeah.
Just everything's been written with electric and full drum set in mind.
It's cool. You ought to throw in a really acoustic classical piece in there.
There's some
you know.
beautiful ones that
Yeah.
that would just
Because
just
if
are
you
underplayed.
did that, then you could name your album "Dirty Diapers," and it would be perfect.
Peel the dirty diapers.
See, man, you guys should be in the band. That's exactly like the process we went through in this name.
Awesome.
So you could peel anything, man.
Those
Great.
dirty diapers are peeling the paint off the wall.
Dirty
Well, you just had a
diapers.
kid and all that, so it's
I
perfect.
know you're
you know?
traumatizing me right
Yeah.
now. No. Yeah, no, there's all sorts of things getting peeled. We're skin off our faces, whatever.
Yeah, see, you can take that forever, so that's a good name. Yeah, it's great.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one we stuck on. I wish it had more of a deeper explanation than I gave, but really it's.
Oh, you need to
it's
just
fine.
let them circulate. That's what I do. Let
Right.
all the ideas circulate and let people come up with what they want, and yeah, that'll be good.
What else do I remember how to play on this thing? This song's too slow for a podcast, huh? Or is it beautiful enough? Yeah, we won't do that one. It's too... Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your
No,
flow.
you're good.
just I haven't had this thing out in forever, so whenever I start feeling, I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Back in love again.
You can't do this kind of stuff on an electric, and I can't do it to justice without my nails.
Right.
But
So
I remember just doing all this weird fingering part.
when you were in school, like when you take science or whatever, you have to take a written test. So I would imagine you had to perform in order to.
Yeah,
was that your theoretical testing? I mean, did you have to write something and perform it, or did you have to do a cover, or?
It was in the classical world, it's mostly performance pieces that have already been performed. It's just classical composer like Carcassi and Giuliani, and there's just a lot of big names from the old ways that wrote beautiful music, and just prepared a 30-45 minute set of those, and you have what's called juries. So first, you have to. The whole auditorium is just filled with every music faculty member on staff, and you get up and you just play your whole thing.
Oh wow!
There's you take a break between your big movements of the songs, where if there was an audience, you normally would take a bow and get your applause and at least get a little bit of relief, but. Just complete quietness.
No applause.
You're scribbling. Like you don't know if it's good or bad or what. They're just testing you, and they're just writing down on their rating cards.
Right.
Excuse me. Their review cards of how you did. I just remember it being so much more nerve-wracking than the actual last thing, just because it's like, oh, this is whether or not I get to graduate. It's like one of the most nerve-wracking experiences I've ever had, maybe. But you get up, you play your piece, you say, I said thank you. A lot of people just get up and walk out. You just get up and walk out, and then later on you get your score, your grade.
Right. And it's got the assessment on there, probably not just like, hey, you made a B. Good for you.
Now I make them sound like villains. They're also trying to help you improve for your final performance. So they're writing down like, well, in this section, I missed you missed your timing, or in this section, perhaps you should do a little more crescendo or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it says 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. Yada yada.
Cool. Well, obviously you came through it okay.
Yeah, that was the big thing with it. Like the ratings didn't matter as much. It was more just, did you do it okay? And are you ready to play your performance in front of all the people? And as long as you got that, you're set. You could mess up during your big show, and it's not.
It had to be rough. I don't know if I could play in front of a bunch of people.
It's hard being.
Yeah. I mean, you get more than 3 people in here. I'm all.
You just hear coughing. The classical audience, you're not supposed to clap when people come in. Well, actually, when they come in, you do. You applaud, but then you sit down and there's just silence. It's not like a live show at a bar.
Not like you've got a rapport with an audience or anything.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't be casual.
It would be so awesome to go in there and
impress.
Just go in there and just play something badass. That's,
right.
Some Red Hot Chili Peppers or something. Just go completely off scale with it.
Walk out with like a PV or something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's a little Jeff Beck for you.
Bite off a bat's head and get started with that.
That would have made me not want to do the band so bad. I would have been okay staying in that world. But that was one of the things that kind of drove me away from that world, to be honest, was it's a little stuffy.
Yeah.
I didn't like that basically you're being judged on your perfection of a piece and not your energy or your mood or
interpretation
your
of it. There was no interpretation, right?
Right. There is some, but there's an expected level of interpretation that's supposed to go along with each piece. So like you can play it with a bit with more emotion, or you could change dynamics here and there a bit, but yeah, it's pretty regimented. Yeah.
Wow.
And but they get. It's too stuffy for me. I'm just going to use the word stuffy. That's all I can think of it.
It's a good adjective for that.
Yeah. So
but the cool part, though,
awesome.
is that
it's been like my lifesaver.
To have that classical influence, I think, is a big deal because, rock and roll didn't just come about. It came about through a process, and the beginning of that process was classical music.
Right.
So we had to start from there to get where we are now. So.
Yeah,
the fact that you know and understand all those elements, I think, is only going to help you.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't trade my education ever.
Yeah.
It's been too useful in practical terms like
Right.
that, and just for having that degree to get my teaching business going. But yeah, we had to study music from, the very beginning, the first ever written music, basically. And,
Wow.
Learn about the modal changes and how that evolved into the well-tempered system that everybody uses in the Western world now. And having that depth of understanding is just, it's a cool thing. It allows me to think of things like the circle of fifths and scales and modes in a way that I feel that I don't really have that questioning where I go to YouTube and I'm wondering, like, am I doing this theory right? Don't quiz me on terms. I'm terrible. It's been a long time, but like the context stays there, I guess, and like the depth of understanding. So
yeah. So you're able just to write something out and put it all together and know that it's right.
Right, and just
that's cool.
Yeah, know that or at least right within the parameters I'm doing. I'm still down to tune a note halfway between a note. I'm not
sure.
But our ears are so trained to that systematic interval of basically tuning to A440 and doubling that pitch and then spacing each pitch relative in between those pitches. Yeah, it's just kind of what our ears hear and what we have to do to make it work. Like if you listen to people playing sitar or something, the rhythms are different, but that's not as hard to expound upon for me. But their scales, literally the spacing between the frequencies and hertz is so much different that
I would love to pick up a sitar and just try to see what I can do with it.
I've never had the privilege of playing one, but one of my teachers played one, and he brought it to class like at the last day of school and played it for us. And he also showed us some videos of some of the greats. I can't remember the guy's name. It's a hard to remember name, to be fair, I guess. But it was great. It was wonderful. It's just you have to open your mind to it. If you were the normal Western audience and you came and sat down and listened to it, like, parts of it would sound musical, and parts of it you'd just be like, I'm lost. I don't know what's going on. I can't understand this to get musical pleasure.
You're trying to find the pattern that you're used to, and it's like, where's the break, and isn't this where the chorus is, and why are you going off this direction, right?
Yeah, you're counting to 7, man. Why aren't you counting to 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Like, why'd you have so many numbers? But it definitely has aided me, and still does, the overall experience. Southwestern University was a great school. I really haven't kept up with it. I'm assuming they're still doing all right, but there was
I'm sure they are.
It was a good education. I'm very fortunate.
What was the mascot for that school?
The Pirates. We were the Pirates. So we had
the Pirates with like a classical guitar.
I should have worn a pirate hat. Yeah, all that is funny. Speak about Stuffy again. All that school spirit stuff kind of gets separated from the musical realm.
Yeah.
And there, it's like, no, I spend most of my time in the Seraphim School of Fine Arts building.
Right. It's very quiet over there until someone picks up something for a test.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Then everybody's freaking out. Yeah, like an atomic bomb went off or something. Yeah. But I mean, the main thing I can express about all that is just how fortunate I am to have been able to go and do it. I didn't know how to read music when I first got there.
Right.
I just took lessons a couple times during like high school age, locally, and I didn't know anything. I mean, I had some music ability, but whenever I went to school, we had to take what were called just electives, just to satisfy our degree plan, and music was one of those. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna sign up for as many of those as I can.
Cool.
And ended up taking like a theory class and guitar lessons, and I could read a little music. I take that back. I did some piano when I was younger, but nowhere near the proficiency level of the other people that were studying with me. It was totally just I had to, every good boy does fine my way through it for a long time, and it was purely just my teacher encouraged it. He was like, you should audition for this scholarship kind of thing, because he was teaching me the songs basically. Like I would watch it on the music and kind of see the ups and downs and everything, but I didn't pay attention. And so I kind of played my way in. Basically, I did an audition and played something, and everyone was really impressed, and they let me into the program. But the whole rest of the degree was hell, because I didn't know how to read music really. Like, I mean, I could, but very, very slowly.
Slow translation.
Yes, yeah. And it took years to solidify to where I could see it and hear it. I still am not the best music reader. I can, hear it. Like you said, they do solfege or sight singing. The do re mi fa sol la ti do type of stuff to improve your ability on that hearing level. You nailed it. That's the most important part of it. And then translating it to the guitar is like the secondary. Mm-hmm. But being able to know a D's a D and an E's an E on there, and to be able to kind of hear where relative to where that's at. I don't have a perfect pitch or anything.
Hear it in your mind.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Do you read music, Hank?
No. I can barely read tab.
Yeah.
I always get confused because tab's upside down, but it's not supposed to be upside down.
Right.
So I end up playing shit backwards, and it doesn't sound nothing like it used to sound.
Does it? Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, though.
No, it's not.
You got your own original stuff, man.
And I'm left-handed, so it's all upside down anyway.
It's inside out. Oh, my God.
See, I think there's nothing wrong with that. See, I've had to learn the inside-out way.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm in a band, and I don't know how to jam with people. I'm learning how to jam, so it goes both ways.
Now, that's part of musicianship, and it's hard to find, believe it, from what I've been told, it's hard to find people who will allow the other band members to actually play.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, it's tough.
We just put a new song into our set as a sort of a transition, and an undeveloped song that we love, and I won't spoil the surprise. We want to play it live and everything, but
cool.
During practice I was like, everybody was wanting some direction on what to do, and I just was literally playing the chords and singing the melody I came up, and I was going as simple a strumming pattern as I can, because they're great musicians. I want them to, they're going to play their part better than what I'm going to write for it. Yeah, and then I'll write something on top of that, and then we'll end up with something cool. So I think it's a good philosophy for someone like me, anyways.
Yeah. Let them bring what they want to the party, right?
And it turns out, I'll have to show you all the recording after. They did some awesome things. I was listening back, and the drums on it were. It was kind of a different feel than we've done on any of the other songs. A lot slower, but more kind of relaxing, hip-hop-ish. And there were just flams on the drums that trickled out to perfection. Mm-hmm. And our bass player, I can't hype him up enough. Like, he's just amazing. He's on, in my opinion, he's on the level of like Victor Wooten and Jocko. He's not making himself a soloist bass artist like they are.
Bass is a big deal. Not a lot of people realize it.
But he plays like they do. I mean, he gets that feeling in there, and it's just such a huge part of our music. So as far as for him, I'm just like, do what you want, man. If you think it sounds good.
I just put it all together. You were talking about earlier, everything just comes together for you.
Yeah.
Bass player, perfect woman.
Bass players are
Rhonda Smith. You know Rhonda Smith?
I've heard
Prince is a factor in that. She played bass for Prince. Beautiful. And I didn't know who she was until I went to go see Jeff Beck in 2010 for the Emotion and Commotion tour. Beautiful, fantastic. And she was on bass. And I'm like, holy crap, who are you? Rhonda Smith.
He's had a couple of female bass players.
Yeah, Tal Wickenfield is another one.
Amazing.
Amazing at like 22 or 23.
Yeah, 19 even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a deal when she was playing at 19 years old, and she was amazing, man. It's like, damn, really? Yep. So
Rhonda Smith,
I gotta check
her out.
Yeah, I have a feeling I've seen her before, but I been bad with names. But that's cool.
Yeah, she's awesome.
No, it's so hard to find a bass player.
Excellent too.
Yeah, really a good one. Yeah,
they're all in bands. Everybody needs a good bass player. So I can play bass, but I can't do it anywhere near like him. So
you got songs on Spotify.
How
many?
We just have the single on that's like purchasable on Spotify. Okay. So True Bird Personality, the cigarette song, is on Spotify, and on iTunes and on everything really. That we did the DistroKid approach. You can just get it launched on every platform you can.
Okay.
Kind of scope it out. But we are definitely going to have a new album soon. If people want to look on SoundCloud, we have another song called Antithesis that is out to the public. It just isn't out copyrighted officially
on
yet,
SoundCloud,
all that kind of thing. Yeah, SoundCloud.
Okay.
It's just a place where a lot of independent musicians go, but we've had it mixed and mastered, and it sounds fantastic. It's a very different feel than True Bird Personality. It's a little less spunky, but it's got some really cool rhythms. Maybe I'll have to, I don't know how much time we have, but maybe I'll have to play that one for y'all. But it's got a really cool feel on the guitar. Like the right hand strumming patterns is this, and it goes the whole way through like that. Like it never stops. So it was a challenge for me to sing. But it's got a kind of like a harmonious chorus with some backup vocals, and it's a really good song, unique. Also, like True Bird is kind of a unique sounding song and kind of one of our sounds. So
cool.
I'd recommend those two.
So are y'all available now to play any venues? So like if I had a birthday party or a big party coming up,
Sure.
y'all gonna do anything like that?
We've thought about it. I mean, I have monitors, and we basically have our own PA system.
Okay.
So in the very near future, I say yes, that we want to make an entrance. We're good.
Yeah.
We want to make our first splash at a real venue where people are coming to listen to music and not just eat hamburgers.
Yeah.
Right. But absolutely, to answer your question more directly, we will be available for that kind of thing.
So if somebody wanted to book y'all, how would they get in touch with you? What would be the best way?
They could do our email would probably be the easiest to remember, especially if they're watching this podcast. It's just peelofficial@gmail.com.
Okay.
They could shoot out an email to there and
Peelofficial.
And it's
Gmail.
and Peel is a
Gmail.
standard spelling, right? P-E-E-L.
Or they could visit our Facebook page, which is also Peel Official. There are some other Peels out there that don't have quite as ambitious of plans as we do.
Okay.
But we are the official one.
The official Peel.
That's what
Yes, sir.
And yeah, so Facebook through that, or through the email Peel Official. Peel Official would be the big thing to search for and to remember in terms of getting in touch. I don't want to put my phone number on the air just for everyone, but also if happen to find my phone number, which it is on the internet, just give me a ring. I might have to call you back. I've got a baby, all right, but we would love to get out and start playing some shows.
Great, fantastic. Well, I have a feeling what we're experiencing today, Mark, is one of those I knew him when moments.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully he won't forget us.
Yeah. Maybe not.
No way.
I could see myself calling me your name, Blake. What's going on? I really don't have time. Your podcast.
You need to call my people for that. They'll let me know if I need to know.
So yeah, I appreciate having you on. I think you're a great musician.
Thank you.
Obviously,
so
a
much.
good talent. Writing skills are great.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, just a little bit of time, and I think you're going to be rolling.
It's wonderful to hear.
There you go.
I appreciate you guys having me.
And I really
It's a
do
wonderful
think
studio.
that this is one of those times when I'll be able to say, I knew that dude before he made it.
I have a hunch we're going to do all right.
That's good.
I think that at least locally.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think
Well,
at
we're
the
going to
very
keep an
least.
eye on you, man.
Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
we'll be around.
Yeah, and if you can ever get the
rolling.
bandmates together, let's do it again.
They were
And let's
so
see if
sorry
we
they
can-
couldn't come out.
It's cool. It happens. We
Yeah.
deal with
I was
groups
too. I
all the
was like, come
time
on.
that can either do it or one or two will show up. So it's not a big deal.
Awesome.
But if we could get everybody together, that'd be great too.
Oh,
It'd be great just to
you'd
interview
love
those
them.
guys and
They have
maybe play
awesome
something
personalities. Such
so
cool
we can
people.
move things around and make room.
Okay.
Make it happen. But all right, guys. So think about it and look it up. Peel Official on Facebook. And Blake, really enjoyed having you out. It was a good show. And
Great Good.
Like I said, you're a great musician. All right, guys. So this is just another reason for you to subscribe to this show. We've got everything. We've got everything from motorized women all the way down, all the way down to great musicians and
now
guys who you can say.
Full start.
Don't get my mind going on that one. So, if you haven't subscribed yet, get on it. I don't know what you're waiting for. And
get up off your hind ends and do the right thing.
That's right.
It's the right thing.
Yeah, these guys are great.
For me, Mark, and the mechanical chick under the table, and Blake Beckwith, we'll see you in the next one. We're out.